In other Kevin McCarthy news, which is not quite as funny as him selling T-shirts, calling themselves morons, Nancy Pelosi has actually called Kevin McCarthy out for something serious. I'm going to read from this Insider article. Pelosi office rips into Republicans for terrorizing Capitol Police after Trump called officer a murderer. Now, Donald Trump still has his little blog, his little website where he issues statements. How does he phrase them? Statement by Donald J. Trump, 45th President of the United States of America. Sounds real official on his little blog. Reading from the Insider before we get to that, though, a spokesperson for House Speaker Nancy Pelosi on Thursday excoriated Republicans after former President Donald Trump called a Capitol Police officer a murderer, as he continued to whitewash the deadly January 6th insurrection that he incited. Quote, the former president's threat against a U.S. Capitol Police officer is only the latest in a long line of vile Republican attacks on the officers who risked their lives to protect the United States Capitol on January 6th. In recent weeks, Republicans have slandered these officers as executioners and murderers and insulted their intelligence and integrity on national television, spokesperson Robin Patterson said in a statement. Enough is enough, Patterson said. Officers present that day who have called out the partisan efforts to downplay a violent insurrection have been subjected to death threats and racist abuse. No member of House Republican leadership has bothered to condemn this harassment or speak out in support of these officers, Patterson went on to say. Pelosi's spokesperson said GOP efforts to malign Capitol Police officers are disgusting, wrong, and a wholly unacceptable way to treat the officers who went through hell to protect our democracy from armed insurrectionists. The article wraps here. Patterson said it's long overdue for Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy to get off his hands and stand up to the members of his Congress and party who have been terrorizing the brave officers that saved the lives of countless workers, staff, journalists, and members on January 6th. It's no less than these heroes deserve. And of course, Kevin McCarthy's office did not respond with comment. So what sparked this was this statement from Donald Trump on his goofy little blog site where he said this: I spoke to the wonderful mother and devoted husband of Ashley Babbitt, who was murdered at the hands of someone who should never have pulled the trigger of his gun. We know who he is. If that happened to the other side, there would be riots all over America, and yet there are far more people represented by Ashley who truly loved America than there are on the other side. The radical left haters cannot be allowed to get away with this. There must be justice. There is veiled, threatening language in that statement. We know who he is. Listen. Ashley Babbitt was tragically killed by police while she was in an attempted overthrow of the United States government. She endeavored to overturn a free and fair election. She attempted, in the middle of a riot, a violent overthrow of the government, she attempted to enter the House floor through a broken window of a barred door, a blocked door. If she had entered, who knows what other insurrectionists would have made it into the United States House chamber? And who knows what kind of carnage, what kind of violence, what kind of melee would have taken place. Ashley Babbitt was an adherent of QAnon, the same conspiracy theory group that believes Hillary Clinton ripped off the face of children and drank their blood to imbue herself with the power of adrenochrome or some other nonsense. QAnon is dangerous. The federal government has warned that there is a threat of domestic terror surrounding people who believe the theory. It is not something to take lightly. Ashley Babbitt was not murdered.
One of our sponsors is privacy.com. They're giving you $5 when you sign up for their completely free service at privacy.com/Pacman. I've been using Privacy for a little over a year now. You've heard me talk about it before. It's a lifesaver, and here's how it works. Takes just a couple of minutes to set up. Anytime you buy something online or on the phone, instead of actually using your real credit card number, the privacy app and the browser plugin let you give each company a randomized virtual credit card number that you create out of thin air. It'll even autofill the card number with one click. And the payment is taken out of your checking account without the merchant ever knowing your real information. So this allows you to keep your banking information secure, but also to take control of your finances. You can create up to 12 of these virtual credit cards a month. You can set spending limits. You can freeze them. You can delete them anytime you want. So when you do this, it means you're not going to be charged when you don't want to be, because you can destroy the virtual card number right after using it, which, for instance, I love using free trials because I know I won't be charged when the trial is over if I use a virtual credit card number. You're keeping your identity private by not telling companies who you are. You're keeping your bank or credit card info protected against data breaches and identity theft, and it's free. And like I said, you'll get $5 to spend when you sign up at privacy.com/Pacman.